I published in the past on my YouTube channel a field effect transistor tester, and then especially for the so-called small signal N-FETs. Like I told in an earlier video, the whole idea about field effect transistors is a sea to drink. But anyway, you can test small signal field effect transistors with the help of an oscillator. There's also another possibility. I will give the link in the description. I made in an earlier video a more elaborated small signal FET field effect transistor tester that is usable for P and N FETs, but this is a simple circuit that is only usable for N FETs and field effect transistors, and this is the schematic. So let's look at it first. It is in fact an oscillator circuit. It took some time to find out, say, a circuit that more or less always wanted to oscillate, and I don't pay attention to the waveform, but the fact that it oscillates. When the field effect transistor is in this circuit and it oscillates, you know that it is okay. This is the coil that I've used to make the oscillator here. Toilet roll with quite a few windings anyway. You can copy it. Here is more information. 26 windings, plastic isolated wire. The copper core massive is 0.6 millimeters, and with isolation it is 1 millimeter. So this is 0.6 or 0.7. That's also usable in my opinion. Anyway, 2 capacitors of 100 picofarad here are used to make the whole circuit oscillate. This is a 470 microhenry kind of smoothing coil. You can see it here. The color code is yellow, purple, brown, and well, you can find these say big bunch of these coils very cheap on the World Wide Web, and there is of course say approximately 10 of this value, 470 microhenry. You can wind it yourself with kind of ape hair isolated copper wire, approximately 400 windings on a form of 3 millimeters plastic, no ferrite inside, 600 windings on a plastic tube of say 3 millimeters. Anyway, so, but you can also buy it like I did it in the past. Anyway, let's look at the circuit again. Here it is. I tested quite a few field effect transistors, but of course, like I say, it is a kind of sea to drink. Can all of these small signal N-FETs brought into oscillation? Well, that's not completely sure. Here I have a plastic bag with field effect transistor that I've tested here, and I've tested today the following N-FETs. The BF245 worked okay, the G109 failed, the BF982 is a double gate, a very high frequency N-FET, it worked. The 4673 is completely obsolete. It's a typical field effect transistor of the 1970s, often used in mixer circuits because it has 2 gates. The So you can send in one signal of the VFO to gate 1 and other signal out of the antenna to gate 2, or reversed. Anyway, it worked. You see an oscillation on the screen, and this is also a very popular N FET BF256. So the BF256 is now in the circuit. It works. You can see a very pure oscillation. Frequency is 3.2 megahertz. But of course, when you use other field effect transistors, the oscillation is often not so pure. So this is the purest example. Often the oscillation is small. You see kind of disturbances in that oscillation, but that doesn't matter, because the whole idea is that when the field effect transistor oscillates, it is healthy, it does its job, it's able to amplify, and that's the most important thing. Thanks for watching. Don't want to make it too long. Pan over somewhat. I think it's a useful circuit. I don't know why this G109 failed. Perhaps it's really defective, I don't know. Could be. But anyway, when you want to make radio circuits, etc., you need to be sure that your field effect transistor works and oscillates in, for instance, this test circuit. Thanks for watching again. Pan over somewhat. I think it's a healthy circuit. It took some time to make it in such a way that it is universal usable.